Hello everyone. So we are beginning with the next topic, that is diabetes and depression. It's a very important topic for all of you. You need to understand that it comes as a short note. Okay. In NPA, neuropsychiatric aspects of diabetes mellitus can be your long note. And if they do not want to ask you the long note on NPA of DM, they will ask you the relation between diabetes and depression. Okay. Also, in clinics, when you see diabetic patients, you will have to choose a drug that suits them. Okay, so you need to understand what are the SSRIs or what are the antidepressants that you have in your armamentarium for the patients, which will not affect their glycemic state negatively. Fine. So you have to be cautious for those things. Also, you have to understand that if a patient is coming to you with diabetes, how does that impact the depression? Does it increase or decrease with the duration of diabetes? Does it increase or decrease with the level of diabetes? Like if the HbA1c is higher or lower, does that impact the level of depression that the person has? So all these things that you need to take care of. Also, you need to take care. Let's say there is a patient who has come to you with uncontrolled blood sugar levels and depression. You begin him on SSRIs, and now the patient starts going into hypoglycemia. The physician refers the patient back to you and tells you to stop your drug uh, because of your drug the patient is going into hypoglycemia. Would you stop your drug? What would you do and tell the physician? So most of the times we tend to blame our drugs for everything, any and everything that happens to the patient. We blame our drugs. Even the patient's family member, everything is blamed on the psychotropics. But that you have to understand that that is a good thing that is happening to the patient, because your SSRI has improve the insulin resistance somewhere. Okay, and that is why the hypoglycemics are working better and the patient is maintaining the blood sugar levels now, and he needs a lesser dose of the OHs. So all these aspects you have to see: what drug, when to use, when not to use. Okay, and then what are the different ways of management, what are the different scales to assess diabetes and depression. So you need to understand the integration of both the physical comorbidity as well as the mental comorbidity. And when we see the definition of health, it is what? It is the physical, mental, and social well-being. Okay, so physical, mental, and social, all the three have to be integrated while we are managing these kind of patients. Fine. So on this note, I would like to begin the topic. So as you all know, what is diabetes? Diabetes is a chronic medical condition which has hazardous consequences. Okay, and these hazardous consequences it has on all the organs of the body as well as the emotional well-being of the patient. Okay, and you need to know that the patient who has diabetes, he has increased risk of depression, and there is a relationship that is there. Okay, uh, in many studies you will find that the direction of relationship is not proven yet, whether diabetes leads to depression or depression leads to diabetes. So till now we are considering it is a bidirectional relationship. Okay, so we know that if there is depression, then there is high chances of diabetes mellitus, and in our lecture we will understand how this relationship works. Okay, fine. Also, you need to understand that diabetes and depression both are what? These are serious conditions, serious chronic conditions. What will they do? They will negatively impact the quality of life. Then they will increase the functional disability, and they will reduce the life expectancy of the person. This increases the socioeconomic costs and ultimately it leads to increased healthcare burden. Okay, so we have seen that in many studies, individual diabetes and individual depression does not lead to that much cost or that much burden on the healthcare utilization, which both of them combined leads to. Okay, and rightly so as well. So coming to the epidemiology, so prevalence of diabetes in world, it is nearly 536 million. Okay, and by 2045 it is estimated to go up to 780 million. Okay, whereas the prevalence in India, it is estimated to be 101 million. Okay, and by 2045 it is estimated to go till 134 million. Okay, okay, so you need to understand this. Plus, the risk of diabetes in people with depression is 1.2 to 2.6 times higher as compared to people without depression. Okay, this is one data that you need to remember when you write this answer or when you study as well, that in depressed individuals the risk of diabetes is higher. We know that. How much higher? It is 1.2 to 2.6x. Fine. Okay, then diabetes and depression, what is the prevalence when both are combined? What is the prevalence? See, in Asia it is nearly found in 59.8 to 60% of all of all diabetic patients. Okay, around 60% patients. Okay, and prevalence in India is nearly 25 to 28%, 25 to 35%, you can remember. Okay, understood. So this is the basic data or basic epidemiology that you can remember. There is a lot of data that you will find, and that too of various places like Bangladesh, Nepal, etc., in Asia as well. But then you don't need to remember everything. We have taken one world data, one India data, one Asia data. Okay, basically of the comorbid, and one India data, and the combined data, how much it's increasing the risk of diabetes, the depression is increasing. Fine. Now, is there any link between the duration of diabetes with depression? Is there any link? Yes. See, you have to understand that there is a temporal trend. Temporal trend is present. What do you mean by temporal trend? It says that the depressive prevalence in diabetes mellitus individuals tend to increase with longer duration of illness. Okay, so basically the more the duration of diabetes mellitus, more are the chances, or more is the prevalence of depression that we see. Okay, it has it has been seen that in the initial 10 years, the prevalence of depression is relatively lower, but diabetes related distress is lot. Okay, diabetes related depresses a lot. But if we see that the diabetes is increasing, like it's on an increasing trend, it has from 10 to 20 years it has taken place, and now it is taking place for more than 20 years, then there is a consistent rise in depressive symptoms. And when the causes were evaluated, these are findings from different studies. See, whenever you're writing for exam or whenever you're writing for understanding now, need not remember the reference of everything. Okay, reference of every study, where have you read this. Okay, but then you have to remember the conclusions of the important studies. So when the factors were evaluated, what were the factors which they found that caused the consistent increase in depressive symptoms once the diabetes duration had reached 20 years? There was mainly neurodegeneration, okay, cerebral angiopathy, frailty, frailty, okay, and the distress, the diabetes related distress. These were the four main causes that were identified which led to consistent rise in the depressive symptoms.